What is up, everybody? Welcome into another episode, Wednesday edition of More Important Issues. Sunday, actually, like the last couple weeks, last couple episodes, we have almost exclusively talked about baseball, and I think tonight is just going to be my rant about a single, not even about baseball, a single call in today's game versus Alabama. I'm very upset about it because I don't even want to argue about like the validity of it, whether it was like, whether there was interference there or not. The fact that like no one knows the rule, or like they didn't call the rule correctly if they were going to call interference. I'm very upset about it. Tennessee lost today though against Alabama. We'll talk about that. They did make it to the second round already, so it is double elimination territory. They play Mississippi State tomorrow. What time's that game?
10:30.
Oh wow, early risers. So Mississippi State tomorrow. This is a win or go home game for them in the SEC tournament. They do still have some more postseason to play, but a heartbreaker to Alabama definitely today. It was tough, but we will talk about baseball. The SEC awards have been announced. A couple of Vols found their name on that list as well. Tennessee picked up to still benefiting. I guess that really wouldn't be the transfer portal, right? Was he committed somewhere else? Was he somewhere?
No.
I mean, yeah, that's just the committed.
Junior college. Yeah, he's 2021.
I was about to say benefit from the transfer portal, but that's not true. Even though he has played at the college level, it was JUCO. And then we were doing Landon. I don't think we did this right. We promised QB talk this episode. I don't think we planned for like how much we're gonna rant about a single call. So.
Yeah, so we might not get to it, and that's fine.
We keep pushing it off.
I'm sure we'll talk about it, later on in the season too. But
I think
later on in the off season. But yeah, if we get to it, we get to it. If we don't, we don't. It's a good thing about having your own shows. You can talk about whatever you want. So
do anything you want. But yeah, drop them in the chat. We'll talk about what you want to talk about. Let us know where you guys are listening from, what y'all are up to on this fine Wednesday evening. The heat's almost done, at least for a couple days, so that's nice. We've also got some segments for you. Doing what's trending this week. I got a couple good topics here, so we'll get to that. And stupidity is an epidemic as well. We need to look up the umpires' names because it's just them. They're the stupid ones this week. So
they are the stupid ones. I mean, it's just we're gonna get into it in a second, but it's unbelievable. Like I literally was dumbfounded today.
I want to go back and watch every double play from this season, because you're going to see very, very similar plays to what you saw today.
Just out of spite.
And I want to know how many got called for interference.
I mean, getting called for interference twice, it's unbelievable. The Jordan Beck one, I mean, like, my thing is, like, why are we doing reviews?
Well, first,
number one.
First off, how many reviews were there in just like the last 2 innings? I mean, they reviewed everything. Why are you even on? Like, just make it. I mean, yeah, just put the umps in Birmingham and have them ref the game from there if you're going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point.
Also, I want to be careful about saying this because Tennessee would have lost it either way because it got called on the field. But a play like interference, a complete judgment call, shouldn't be reviewable anyways, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it basically wasn't because they weren't.
Yeah, they weren't. Well, I mean, they came out. I tweeted it, and I believe it. I think the ump was saying that he went out of the baseline initially. Like, that was the interference call. He went away from the bag. Yep. He went away from the bag, and that's why it was interference. And then they go to the booth, and they find out, he didn't go away from the bag. Oh, but good thing he did hit him in the nuts, so we'll just call it that. And that's that. Their explanation to Tony was hit him in the nuts. That was their explanation to him, which is a new one for me. So,
unbelievable. I mean, like, I just like it's kind of like the Reese Maben against Appalachian State. Like, he's coming in and doing everything correctly, but the way everything happens, it looks like he hit this dude in the nuts, which, I mean, technically the runner or the fielder could get out of the way if he wanted to.
Yeah, and someone
But
was
he did a good job of selling it.
well, and on the I just watched an angle from right behind first base, like right before we got on. And if you wanted to call it out on his right hand, which again, I'm like, what do you do with your right hand in that situation? His right hand is extended out from his body, and like
But
it does make contact.
It's not like raised up.
No. That's his left hand. See, that's my problem with the left hand that they called on. His left hand stays inside of his shoulders, like it's not way out here reaching. It's not like he wasn't making it bigger than his body. His right hand, but I go back into. Go anybody in the world right now. If you believe that he meant it maliciously, like if you believe he could have done something differently with his right and left hands, go and slide. Take videos of you sliding 10 times and show me where your arms go. Like, show me, because they're going to be in very, very similar positions as his, especially if you put somebody's body in front of you and you got to protect yourself. But but his right hand is a little extended out from his body. So if you want to call it that, call it that. I could at least be like, yeah, maybe. That's not what you did, though. You didn't call the rule correctly, and that's what someone was arguing with me about the rule. So a few people, and okay, let's do our sponsors. Let's get into baseball. I know, or you know what? Let's just get into it. We'll get our sponsors later. This is our show. We get to do whatever we want. I'm asserting my dominance, and it's funny you mentioned the App State thing. Drew Fox just said he was Appalachian mad, so. App State call, Appalachian mad, that fits there for me. But the first, like, again, they didn't say he ran out of the baseline. They did, or slid out of the, they didn't say he didn't slide directly into the bag, which is what the rule reads, right? Oh, God. Okay.
And I do want to mention, because you brought up a good point before the show. You're like, where was the guy at? He's behind second base. So there's no way he sees his arm hit him in the nuts.
No, right? There's not a chance. Like,
so he literally used that. Like, he called him out because there was contact. He said interference. They reviewed it and said, "Oh, he slid perfectly, but his arm is out. Let's use that as a crutch." That's literally what happened.
Yeah, and then let's get into it, like, more than just like a bad call, because it was a bad call. Like,
yeah, it's terrible.
Sorry. I don't even want to say that. I don't even want to say it's a bad call, because I don't think I'm characterizing it correctly. It was a tough call to make, and you made it to decide the game. Like, yeah. I'm not even willing to say you just made the absolutely incorrect call. I am willing to say you did not implement the rules correctly in that scenario. I do not think you did. But it's a bang bang play. It's a bang bang call. But if you're an umpire, if you're a ref in any sport, you better freaking know what's going on in the game, and you better know the situations. And there, you should know that you decided that ball game right then and there, and you did it,
because whatever Max Ferguson did, even if he made contact or not, he beat the throw. Like, it would have been over with anyway. If it's a no call, he beats it out. Like, if they don't make any kind of contact, he beats out the throw and it's over.
It's so stupid. And again, I just don't get how you go to the booth and you and like, that's another thing. That rule's in place it is in place for egregious errors. Ones where guys go out of the baselines with their studs up, attacking the second baseman or shortstop, whoever's making the play at second there. That is what that rule is there to protect him. Not for guys who are just doing their best to get in the way to make a play hard to make. His studs weren't up. If you were going to say he punched him in the groin, good grief. Punched him in the groin during his slide, get the hell out of here. Like, that's just not the case. That rule was made to protect egregious offenses, and you implemented it in the 9th inning of a walk-off ball game in a SEC tournament. You have no business being an official if you're making those calls. It's that simple.
Yeah. I mean, you just, number one, you don't make that call, like, ever. A soft-ass call like that, that you can't even tell what happens. If you can actually tell when a play happens, like, you can tell if somebody's out of the baseline. You can tell, like, if their cleats are up, if they cleat somebody, you can see that. But, like, that you could not see. You couldn't say 100% that he did that until you went to your review. And still, like, there wasn't, but you weren't going to overturn it anyway.
Everyone who's watched any amount of baseball, even if it was the Sports Center top 10 plays, you know what an egregious interference play is on a double play attempt. You know what it is. You've seen it until they implemented the rule in the MLB. You saw it every single game. Guys going out of their way to bring down the fielder in that situation. That just wasn't the case. Max Ferguson did everything by the rules there. And I mean, I think it's hard to argue he even tried to make contact. He just tried to get in the guy's way. The guy ran forward. I mean, because he was trying to make a play too. I don't even know how can you say who initiated contact in that situation? Both have a right to that space. Both of them do.
And contact is legal. Like I want to throw that out there too.
Well, that's the biggest thing. So in this situation,
like, people are mad because like, oh yeah, he did touch him. You can touch somebody if you slide legally. You can initiate contact.
Like he could have freaking cut his head off. If he slid to second though, directly to second, contact's legal. Yeah, it doesn't matter. That's the thing that pisses me off about how the SEC interpreted the rule. They didn't come back from that replay and tell Vitello, "Hey, it was an illegal slide." Like that, they didn't do that. They said he hit him in the nuts. Then was the slide legal? Because that's all that matters. If he went directly to the bag, it's legal. It's that simple. He has a right to that space. That's it.
And even if you're saying like, oh, he reached out with his arm and hit him in the nuts, that's not true because like if there's contact being made, if you go slide and you make contact, what are you gonna do if somebody's about to fall on you? You put your hand up, right?
It is.
Oh my god!
Yeah, just take and it gets into this. Just take review out of the games if you're not gonna. And Tennessee's gotten hosed on 2 pretty bad calls in my opinion. The no call at South Carolina they reversed it. They called him safe at first, and then they came back and said he did keep his foot on the bag. So just this week, Tennessee's gotten hosed on 2 calls, and I don't watch much, college baseball outside of Tennessee, so I don't know how review looks in most games. But I know that very rarely, even if they've gone in Tennessee's favor, have I seen calls in baseball, reviews in baseball, and gone, oh, they probably got that one right after the review. It's always like, I don't know if you can change that. And then they come out and change it. Or, wow, they need to fix that, and they come out and no call it.
Yeah. I mean, even if you thought he was out by rule, which I don't think you can really explain it to me, but if you want to go down that route, it was a soft-ass call.
It was that, and like that's the bottom line. If you even want to say he ran out of the baseline, it's still a soft-ass call. Because
that would not affect the outcome of the play. It wouldn't have affected it.
We know why the rule was there. We know why it's there. Everyone knows why it's there. It wasn't put in place to add more double plays to the game. It was put in place to protect players because guys were being egregious going into second base at times, going completely out of the baseline to make a play on the fielder there. Like that, and that's not what happened today. The rule was used in a terrible way. And like that's the bottom line. Like the rule was used in the worst way possible today.
Yep.
It's like handballs in soccer. Like they get used. Like the rules are like people want to. Okay, so just for an example, if you're not a soccer fan, explain it to you. Part of the handball rules talk about if it makes your body bigger. Well, that rule is meant like if your arm's out here, and some refs will interpret it that if I put my arm down and it hits my arm there, that I made my body bigger. What the do you want me to do with my arm?
Eat it, something. Get rid of it.
That rule is not meant to keep that from happening. It is meant to protect when guys go up with their arms. It's so stupid, and that's what you saw today.
Yeah, I mean that guy was. I said it before the show. He was calling that before the play. As soon as he saw that it was going to be a play at second base, he was calling that.
Dude, football's a great example too with targeting. Targeting was meant, we know the plays targeting was meant to keep out. And it's gotten ruined by guys making incidental contact with their head because for some reason, referees and review officials can't understand that things happen in the run of play. It was meant to protect egregious offenses, and it's just ruined the game. And if you have calls like that at second, if you're gonna say today that was a by the book call, we're gonna call that every single time, you're gonna make the game terrible. How many times do you think plays like that happen at second any given day?
Like major league players, they are losing their absolute. I mean, they're going to get a fine. You know, it's a little different than college. You get thrown out, it kind of hurts your season. But in like a regular season game, in the major league, like those players are getting thrown out because of a call like that. Like they will lose their mind. If you went and like polled all these major league middle infielders, if this call was correctly made, all of them would say no. I guarantee it. 99% would say no.
So that play today, where he doesn't go out of the baseline, he barely makes freaking contact with him. How often in any given day do you think that happens in Major League Baseball, in college baseball, in high school baseball? How often do you think that today's play that we saw that got called interference happens?
No, you don't. I mean, like that.
No. I'm saying that play happens. I'm not saying interference gets called. That's my point.
Oh, yeah. It happens quite a bit. As far as like contact being made, but it's not called.
Right, because it's not egregious. Like, again, most people, that's what I'm saying. If you started calling it that way, I hope most people would be like, change the effing rule because this is absurd.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate because like you said, after that, you knew Alabama was going to win that game.
Yeah, how many times
all the air out of the sail for us?
How many times do you get teams off the field after celebrations to keep playing the game and they still win?
Yeah,
like that never happens.
No.
Never happens.
So yeah, I mean, congrats. I hope you feel good about it because you literally. I get it. Like it's in Alabama. The replays in Birmingham. I get it. I just wish it wasn't so obvious. I mean, good God.
Yeah, just try to hide it for me and make me feel better about myself.
Holy crap.
I'll never understand a call. I'll never understand a call like that. It's like, oh my God, what's so frustrating is the people that are like, it was an illegal slide. Listen, if you want to call it an illegal slide, at least you're saying like the rule makes sense where they didn't do that today. But at the same time, if you want to call that an illegal slide, you're gonna have interference get called 5-6 times a game. That might be too many for a double place. 2 or 3 times a game at minimum.
Yeah, I just don't get it. I don't.
Also, if he stays standing there, if Max Ferguson stays standing there, he eats that ball in the face.
Yeah, I mean that's what you'd like. It's there to protect, but you'd rather a player do that than slide perfectly into second base. That's if he would have just stood up and got hit right in the forehead, Tennessee would have won that game. So yeah, great.
Who's going to be the first one to do that? Not necessarily a Tennessee player.
I think you do have to slide. I think
you have to get out of the way, don't you?
But I mean, you can't do it any better than Max Ferguson did it, and he got called out for it and got the other runner called out and lost the game.
And there's rules about where the defense is protected. I mean, was he 100% in that zone? Because I don't think he was.
I don't know. It was just it's soft. It's annoying and
I do like how you mentioned though. I mean, that Alabama player, he knew what he was doing. Which credit to him. Hey, I'm as much as I hate Alabama, I'm more pissed at the officials over this. That's gamesmanship. You try to get that call every time.
Oh yeah,
because you're not making that play at first. So you try to make that call.
You don't get it because like contact is legal,
right? But you try, and I'm not mad at him about it. That's one of those. It's just ridiculous, man. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can argue that Tennessee probably should have won that game anyway, but like the fact that they did win it is like, that's what makes me so frustrated. You beat an SEC team who, had a really good day the day before.
And too, for me, like that doesn't, we've talked about how, Tennessee's got to take advantage of some situations, and yeah, that sucks. But for me, like that, you did everything you could to win that game. And like you said, won. Now, I know the players and the coaches are going to look back and go, we had our opportunities. We got to take advantage of them because that's what you do when you're a competitor. But, like, you won the game. So all these people saying, well, Tennessee's, got to take advantage of it in other situations. My point to that is if they score in other situations, Alabama can score to win or tie or whatever. Like, they still have opportunities within the game. The game was over when the umpire made that call. It ended, and he runs out to make that call. So, no, that is the umpire's fault. The umpire decided the outcome of that game. Yeah, they didn't let Alabama score the runs in the 11th, whatever. But they decided that the game was not over at that point and that we were going to keep playing. They decided the outcome.
Yeah, it's tough to like feel like you won and then try to go back in the dugout and regroup and, all that. I mean, that's just a lot to put on a team. And like you said, it doesn't happen very often where a team celebrates and have to go back in and comes out on top.
Yeah, and it ended the inning too. It's not like Tennessee had another chance in that inning. It ended the inning. It took it 2 extras.
Well, I mean that's the thing is like I'm not sure on the rule like if that's called if the runner has to go back to third, but if there's no outs, that should be only 2, and that runner scores anyway. So it would.
I think the interference call. I think if I remember, but
okay.
Again, I saw like so many rule books. Well, I saw so many rule books though too. So I don't even know if it was MLB or NCAA because they all
and I don't get the Tennessee fans like going and pulling up. You know, if you're in the media, whatever. But I mean, a Tennessee fan, it looks like the rule was correct. They explain what the rule was. I don't have to.
To be fair, they did poorly explain what the rule was.
Yeah. But like I knew what had happened, but it was just a soft call, and it shouldn't be made in that situation ever.
But again, what pisses me off even more about it is like the rule doesn't clearly because let me just say this too. Those kind of plays are almost entirely judgment calls.
Oh yeah.
So it's like the rule's never going to accurately explain it. So when you throw the rule book at me going, well, this is what the rule says, that doesn't mean shit to me because they can still interpret it however the hell they want to interpret it. So who cares?
Yeah. I mean, if it was so clear cut, they wouldn't have to go to review.
Ooh, that's a good point, isn't it? Also, they wouldn't have to walk back their original statement and come up with a new one if it was so clear cut.
Right. Or a team wouldn't have thought that they won if it was so clear cut.
Or a team wouldn't have thought that they had lost if it was so clear cut.
True.
There was some Alabama gloves hit the ground, guys. So.
Yeah. Punch him in the nuts.
That's another thing. Oh, glad you mentioned that because I went off on this tangent. Totally forgot about that. I think we should be able to go back to replay. And if Alabama's, was it shortstop or second baseman? Whoever it was.
Yeah. I mean,
if they weren't holding their nuts when they got up, he should be safe because that means he didn't hit him in the nuts. And the ump said he did. So.
Yeah.
Or we take his man card. One or the other.
Yeah, he might have liked it. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate because, like you said, it was affected the outcome of the game. And, Tennessee got on the losing end. So that sucks because now you have to play an elimination game tomorrow morning against a good Mississippi State team.
And probably who's more pissed off after today, Tennessee or Mississippi State?
Mississippi State got whooped.
It's going to be 2 just like angry dudes going at it.
Yeah. I mean, like, I will say this, like Tennessee's bats, they gotta be better. I mean, when you're not getting an ace, you're not getting like a regular starter, you gotta take advantage of that. And they did have more hits than Alabama. They had 10 hits. Alabama only had 6, but most of those hits were with 2 outs. And it's hard to get runners around when you're only hitting the ball with 2 outs.
Right.
So got to do a better job of that. And like you said, just got to get runners in when you got them on base, and they weren't able to do that enough apparently. But
they were. Let's mention that.
Right.
They were able to.
They were just enough, but it is what it is. I mean, Alabama just looks destined at this point, right? I mean, they look like that Auburn team with the Chris Davis, and they just look destined to win the SEC tournament right now.
Yeah, they better hope they don't get an ump from Auburn or something.
No, yeah, they're screwed.
Definitely. Dude,
I saw a guy, and this is hilarious. He said cry about it on my tweet after the game, talking about it, and I looked at his tweets because I was like, this dude's slaw, and he goes to Alabama. He literally put after Alabama had won, play Dixieland Delight. I'm like,
play that song. Play that song about Tennessee.
Right.
Well, we just had our first, which I knew someone. I'm surprised it took this long for someone to say it to me. If the role was reversed, you'd be talking about how the call was correct. Typical Vol fans. First off, not typical Vol fans. Typical sports fans. You idiot.
Right.
Second off, you're probably right. Third off, I'm probably laughing hysterically that we somehow won that game thanks to the umps if we were in the other situation.
Yeah, because I don't remember any time that's ever happened where Tennessee has benefited anything from officiating.
Well, and I hate Alabama, so of course I'm going to find it hilarious. I can promise you this because I've seen a lot of calls go Tennessee's way that have been dumb in my 26-year life, and I'm pretty confident when I can, notice bad calls or notice questionable calls. But yeah, you're right. I would totally love it if roles are reversed. If you want to make that happen, Max, call me, man. We can do it. We can reverse those roles. Tennessee can be winning on some bullcrap calls. I'll take it every day of the week. You will never hear me complain.
So just like every win in the record book.
Fan. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just kind of dumb. But
that's the dumbest take I've seen today, actually.
But like we wouldn't necessarily agree with the call. We would just literally laugh that it happened. Like, ha, our player, gets somehow hit in the nuts because of legal contact, and we end up winning the game because of it. I'll take a shot in the nuts for a win.
100%. You always take a shot in the nuts for a win, especially against Alabama.
Even if it didn't actually, it just grazed my nuts. I'll act like she's the man when Amanda Bonds is acting like a guy when she gets hit in the nuts, and everybody's like, ooh. She's like, oh, yeah. Oh, for the love of God.
That's a great movie that Emily doesn't like, by the way. I was like thinking, like we were like watching movies one night, and I was like, let's find a movie we both like. I was like, surely she's the man we could agree upon. She's like, I don't really like that movie. It's very shocked.
I mean, she gets drilled with a soccer ball.
And again, I think we got to check to see if Alabama's player did that or not. I think that's important to whether the correct call was made.
Yeah, with reviews, what are we looking at? I mean, are we looking at where this guy made the call from? Or are we looking at the guy that, gets hit in the nuts and if he actually grabs his nuts? I don't know.
And I just wish there was like and this is for every level of officiating, high school, college, NFL, MLB, NBA specifically, because they have like actual ref organizations. Like for a lot of these dudes, it's pretty much a full-time jobs. I really wish they would like just be transparent. Like, hey, this dude missed the call. This is what the call should have been. And yeah, we can't change the outcome of the game, but like we're going to get it corrected for next time. Because I'm sick of like these dudes getting on ESPN and Fox and being like, well, the correct call was made here, and here's why, when everyone in the world knows the call's incorrect. And then like, the organizations never say anything. And sometimes you see guys demoted and taken off, game duties, but it's pretty rare. And I'm not necessarily asking, like, obviously if they're constantly making bad and egregious calls, they need to be removed. But why can you not come out and just be like, hey, the call was wrong. We want everyone to know what the correct call should be. Our ref's been educated on it, and the goal is to get it right next time. I understand personally. I know Max and most sports fans don't understand this. I shouldn't say most, some. Like, I know that the refs aren't always going to get it right. I understand that. But it's really frustrating when they act like they're always right. That's very frustrating. And then it's very frustrating.
They can't answer when they're wrong.
Or they can't answer when they're wrong. Or when they go to a review and can't get it right. That's very frustrating.
Or overturn a right call. That happened against South Carolina.
Overturn a right call. Or in that situation, overturn a call that I don't know if it's the right call, but I don't see how anyone could know it's the right call.
I feel like
in that situation.
This is Penny Hardaway's fault. Like, he told everybody that we had the bald fist, and so the official just assumed that Max Ferguson's fists were bald and hit him in the nuts.
I agree. I think this is a perfect thing to blame on Penny Hardaway.
Yeah.
And I guess we've kind of talked about the game, but and it's tough. I like you said, Alabama's played well the past 2 days.
I mean, they played well when Tennessee beat them earlier in the season.
Yeah, that's one, and we talked about this on Sunday. I was like, I was looking, and when we got stuck with Alabama and Ole Miss, I was like, man, those are two teams I really don't want to face because you're going to play the winner of them. And then I was like, South Carolina, sorry. And I was like, well, to be fair, there's not a single team in the SEC that I really want to face. But yeah, South Carolina, both South Carolina and Alabama gave Tennessee their fair share of all they've got. And you knew you were going to get a fight out in Alabama. Credit to Alabama, they played well.
And they're playing. They're wanting a shot at a regional, so they have to win these games. Like it's do or die for them. So yeah, you're gonna get their best shot. But I feel like Tennessee I feel like Will Heflin pitched pretty good. Sean Hunley. It's just kind of unfortunate how things kind of turned out for you. I thought Camden Sewell pitched pretty well. He had a walk that, caused a run to score, but I feel like Tennessee didn't have a lot of. They had 2 errors, but they didn't have a lot of mistakes today to really lose them the ball game. And the fact that they had it won and then ended up losing is just, I guess that's just the definition of being a Tennessee fan. Like Tony Vitello said, this isn't an easy jersey to wear, but we take pride in that. I mean,
he's one of us. What movie is it? Like one of us. That's what I thought of when I saw it.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere, right? Like I feel like he loves this place.
I mean, he does a great job of acting like it if he doesn't.
Right. I mean, he loves this program. He loves these players, and that's why anytime, he thinks one of those players are treated unfairly, like he lets people know about it. And like he's not shy of what he has to say in a press conference. If he thinks something was wrong, he's going to tell you, yeah, I didn't like it, didn't agree with it, but what the hell else can I do?
Right. And, you talk about whether Tony V loves this place. And I said it on Sunday. I think you got to make the financial commitment to him, but I think more importantly, you just have to make a commitment to the baseball program as a whole. Upgrading the facilities, that I think that's before you even talk about giving Tony V more money. And I think he'd be on the same page. Upgrading his facilities and getting him more resources for both his players and recruiting. And I think that's how you first and foremost keep him. So, I think there's a lot of I think he's very happy with this situation. That's not saying he couldn't find a better one, because there's a lot of better baseball programs I'm not saying teams. I think Tennessee is one of the top teams. There's a lot better programs in the country, though, than Tennessee right now.
Yeah, but I mean, this was his, first head coaching job, so I think that goes to say something. We're the first one to give him that opportunity, and if they are making that commitment to the baseball program and those facility upgrades, he has a hand in that. He kind of gets to build it how he wants to, and I think he's really interested in that.
Hopefully, they let him be a part of it. He should be. Right. And I think too, if I'm Danny White and any Tennessee administrator, anybody that has a hand in these decisions. What you need to be looking at is this isn't a situation where you're trying to find someone to revive a program going, we can put money into it. We can put time into it. You don't have to go out and actively find that person. You have that guy on campus already. You got the luck, just sheer luck that you found a guy that was able to do it before you made all those commitments. This isn't a build it and they will come situation. This is you better build it right now or they're going to leave situation.
Right. Yep. I agree. But how motivated are you to play tomorrow in this SEC tournament, knowing that you kind of got cheated out of it yesterday?
Well, and, I think if you're a guy that's been coaching a team that's been kind of top 5 all year, me as a coach, this is me. It's kind of like, I'm using this to my advantage. We joke about how does Dabo convince his team they're underdogs? How in this right now, you're like, guys, we just got shafted by the refs. You're not going to get any help from the officials. You're not going to get any help from the fans or the other team. You just better go out and shove it down someone's throat tomorrow. If you want to win, you ain't going to get it from anybody else. It's you and the guys next to you, and that's it. So as a coach, I'm like, this is the dream scenario. We're still alive, and now I don't have to bullcrap whether the refs are against us. The refs are against us. You want me to show you? I've got proof. And now you use this motivate. And I think Tony even said it. He's like, this can either deflate you or fuel you. Hopefully it fuels them. You're definitely trying to use it as fuel if you're the coaching staff and even the players. And I think it could. It's all that mental toughness. You find out if this team's truly the good thing. I think I don't want to say that because it's SEC tournament and it doesn't mean anything. And the guys, whether they're playing hard or not, they know they got more games after this. Whether I'm not discrediting whether they care, that's not what I mean. But in the back of your mind, you're playing. This isn't live or die tomorrow. You're playing. But with this situation, it's like you kind of find out a little bit about their mental toughness. When the chips, when the chips kind of fall against you. How do you respond? I think you kind of find out because even if the call was correct, I think most people would agree that you're that situation sucks for any team involved. because again, it wasn't egregious. So it's like they still went against, like everything kind of went against you in that situation. The momentum went against you because you were out celebrating thinking it was going to walk off. So it's like, how do you respond tomorrow against Mississippi State early too? You don't have a lot of turnaround time.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of got to regroup pretty fast, and this team doesn't shy away from the moment. So I think they'll be ready to play tomorrow. But yeah, like you said, it's always going to be in the back of your mind, like, there's more than this.
Yeah.
There's more important things than this. I mean, if I don't know how mad Tony was after the game, I'm sure he was pretty pissed. But I was livid. I was that mad where I was just like, I think Russell Smith said this, like, let's pack up, go back home, and let's get ready to play at our home stadium for, a couple weeks.
That would have been I don't know how that works as far as some punishment from the SEC offices, but wouldn't that have been awesome if it was just like, nope, we aren't doing this game.
Yeah.
You Birmingham SEC offices had a chance to get it right, and they got it wrong. We're not playing this game. We're out.
Yeah, I mean, why? I mean, again, going back to the competitor, and you want to play tomorrow, but like, you also want to save arms. You also want to, be healthy, and
you don't want to get shafted at every turn.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, what if the same thing happens tomorrow?
I mean, it's why. I mean, yeah, I'm in the same boat. It's like, I don't cheat. I don't know about you guys listening. I don't cheat. So when I find out people are cheating, if you can go, oh, Caleb, you're going to cry and complain about it. Yeah, I'm going to cry and complain about it because I've done everything, I can to legally compete. Like, I just want to play best on best. That's it. So it pisses me off. So it's like when you feel like you're getting just completely shafted, I don't think it's crying. I don't think it's crying. I think it shows you're even more of a competitor. You're like, I just want a fair shot. I'm not asking for you to make the calls for me. I'm asking for you to swallow the whistle when it matters.
Yeah, and that's like today, like that play, like he beats that throw anyway. So it's.
Yeah, I'm not asking for you to call an Alabama runner out when it's close. That's not what I'm asking for. Just call it fair. That's it.
Call it how you see it. There's no way you saw him punch him in the nuts if you're behind the back. But yeah, let's move on to something else. So all SEC. Speaking of getting shafted.
Well, I've got a take on this, and I know we disagree, so I think that's good to get a little disagreement. And I lost my train of thought now, but yeah, go ahead, all SEC, because we can chat it up a little bit.
Yeah. So Tennessee gets 4 guys, or I guess 3 guys listed to all SEC teams. Liam Spence is first team all SEC, and also all defensive team. Jake Rucker is also first team all SEC, and then Blade Tidwell is freshman all SEC. So, I kind of agree to a certain, like, I don't disagree that, like, Dave Horn wasn't deserving. I just think Tony Vitello was maybe more deserving.
And that's fair, for that sense. If you want to say, but like a lot of people that are like, well, he has a top 10 talent with, a top 10 team. Yeah, sure. But I mean, if we want to look at the landscape of college baseball, well, he had to, I think more goes into it than just wins and losses. If you want to look at it like that, if you want to look at the talent on the team too, like he had to go out and recruit those guys, or he and his staff. And I think Coach of the Year awards are always like staff awards, in my opinion. Like who has the best staff? Mm-hmm. And I mean, you know how I feel about Tennessee's staff. But I think a lot of people are like, well, he has all the talent in the world. Well, his front office didn't go out and get that for him. His general manager didn't piece them together. This isn't European soccer. The oil tycoons didn't go pay $100 million to bring him from Madrid. Like, that's not how this works. And so I think, yeah, was Dave Van Horn maybe like an easy choice? Sure. But it's like, I don't think he was wrong. I don't think Tony Vitello would have been a wrong choice either, though. Obviously, what he's done. And 2, this one wasn't voted on by the coaches, right? This is the one that's like handed out. Or is this the one voted on by the coaches?
Yeah, it is.
So I think that's pretty telling too, is like they thought, I mean, he beat everyone. And that's another thing. If I'm a coach, and I try to think of these things like pretty fairly, like I give it to the person most deserving in that sense. It's like, I'm looking at it going, who do I not want to play on any given day? Like no matter what the weather is, no matter who he's got in his dugout, who do I not want to play? And if those guys selected that guy as Dave Van Horn, like, then so be it. I get that. He won every SEC series. He beat Tony Vitello twice. It's just like, that's my only thing. I think
it's more, I think it goes into more of like Dave Van Horn's a vet, so I think that has something to do with it. Tony Vitello probably hasn't made a ton of friends in this league. Not saying people hate him, but like we play with a little bit more oomph and grit and excitement, and we have bat flips and we celebrate wins and we have more walk-offs than anybody in the SEC. So yeah, people don't like that, but hey, I mean, if we're winning with all that, it makes it so much sweeter that all those teams hate us. So much sweeter.
For sure. And
I'll be the villain. I want to be the villain. That means you've made it. If you're the villain, people respect you. They might not like you, but they respect you.
Yeah, and I mean, I think Tony Vitello is going to win his fair share of Coach of the Year awards before it's all said and done. Like, I don't doubt that. Just looking at this year, like, I'm not in the boat if he got shafted. Like, I'm not in that. Is he deserving? Sure. Are there other deserving coaches? And is Dave Van Horn one of them? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I mean, I just look at like I know you're looking at this season, but I just look at like who did more with less, and not necessarily teams. I'm talking like Dave Van Horn. Like this season, he hasn't made a huge improvement to the years past.
Right, but how much room does Arkansas have for improvement?
Right. I mean, that's part of it too. But like, if you have a guy that's just as deserving, that's done more in less time, yeah, I'm going to go with him.
But I also think so. Here's the thing: you mentioned years past. This is a Coach of the Year award. Like, right? It's what have you done within this season? And I'm usually in the boat of like when I pick coaches, usually I'm like, if it's a bottom tier team, if it's a team in the SEC that's only won 8 or 9 games, but they weren't picked to win anything, or if they won a couple series against some teams they weren't to beat, yeah, I'm going to pick that guy. But I'm also not against picking the guy with the most talent if they won every single series. Like, I'm not against that either.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I don't necessarily disagree that Dave Van Horn should have won it. I think Vitello was deserving too. And you look at Dave Horn the first year Vitello took over, Dave Van Horn was the runner-up in the College World Series. I mean, and they should have won it. They choked it away. They should have won. Then the next year he goes to the College World Series. I just think he's like been at the top, and like you said, Tony Vitello will probably get more coaches awards, and we'll probably be more respected, 5 years down the road, with all these. But yeah, he's probably rubbed some, his team's probably rubbed some people the wrong way. I'm sure the Legends of Lindsey Nelson didn't help any of that either. But yeah, I mean, it's nice to be the villain, but yeah, I think Tony Vitello, either one of those guys, like I feel like they could have done a co-thing. I mean, they put Auburn shortstop, I can't remember his name, and Liam Spence is tied for all defensive teams. So I feel like if they did a coach of the year, I wouldn't disagree with that.
I would be curious to see the votes. Like where, like, I mean, is Tony V even second? Like, I am curious.
It's gotta be close, right? It gotta be. I mean, who else would you put in that position?
I would think he would be at least second, but like you mentioned, and I'm not in this boat. Like, if you're a dick, but you're a good coach, like I would vote for you. But not everyone thinks that way. So I don't know. I mean, that's why I say I think it'd be interesting to see what the votes were and how close it was, and if Tony Vitello was second. I don't know.
I don't know. Also, like, yeah, that one is kind of like up for debate, but also like I cannot believe Evan Russell did not get, or Chad Dallas did not get any of the teams.
The Evan Russell one absolutely shocks me, and I think today he showed why. Like just today's game, he showed why. Right. The Evan Russell one is, I think, by far the biggest shaft of them all. Yeah,
I mean, like he gets kind of the recognition for hitting home runs, but dude is phenomenal in left field.
Yeah,
he made a diving catch. He made one, where he slams into the fence. But his play of the game was saving a run, and I forget what inning it was, but they hit a leadoff single down the line. It should have been a double, but he stops that player from getting to second. Mm-hmm. Next play they turn a double play, and
I think in extra innings too, he held a guy at second as well, right? Oh, he actually, sorry, I kind of threw him under the bus there. He didn't make a great throw, but the guy respected him probably from earlier in the game, and that held him at second.
Yeah, I mean I can't believe he wasn't. I'm kind of like you. I don't watch a ton of SEC baseball because there's not a lot on TV. I might come across a game or two, but I don't watch every single game, so I don't know exactly who's out there. But it would be hard for me to not vote Evan Russell as all defensive team.
Yeah, and then too, like talk about the Evan Russell thing. I mean, early on in the season, he also kind of had to earn a spot too. I mean, he was not just put into that position, come get day one.
Yeah, him and Pete Durkee have really earned their time. Basically, the whole time they've been here, it's been they've been kind of over recruited some of those guys, and it's not a knock on them. It's just when you're a walk-on, and there's a reason why Tennessee is a great staff, because I think Ross Kivett told us they lead the country in walk-on players that actually play.
Yeah.
But it's just it's crazy that those guys have been recruited over, but they keep time and time just being so consistent throughout the season where they just give you no other choice but to play them.
Right. And you love to see that they do play them too, because baseball it's a little bit easier to play those walk-ons because a lot of your guys are walk-ons or on partials, or they're all on partials, what have you. But like you said, those guys just keep earning it, and that's huge. Anything else for baseball SEC awards or anything like that?
Chad Dallas got shafted too.
Chad Dallas got shafted, and hopefully
and he's a Friday night. They talk about Landon Marceau today. And he's good. I'll give him that. His ERA is good, but he's lost a lot of games, and I know a lot of that's probably his team too. But Chad Dallas is also pitching on Friday night, and the dude is 9-1. I mean, can we not get any love? And is it not doing more with less when you don't have a 97 mile an hour fastball like Rocker and Leiter?
Yeah.
Is that not more impressive than, those guys? He's got about just as many strikeouts as both of those guys. So I just don't understand what they're looking for. Is it just ERA? Again, maybe it's because, Tennessee has run some guys the wrong way. And I know Chad Dallas is one of those guys who's pretty emotional on the mound, but man, that was just ridiculous.
I am interested to see when the media's all SEC teams and whatnot come out to see kind of what things change.
Yeah,
I would be interested.
I mean, it'll be telling if Tennessee gets 5 or 6 on that list instead of just 3 guys. That maybe this league doesn't really want Tennessee to be great, which that's just going to make it even sweeter.
Right. That's fine. You want to be the villain, like you said.
Yeah.
All right, football. Ready to go to there?
Yeah, let's get it.
All right, let's like I said, Tennessee benefiting not from the transfer portal, but still doing a little bit of recruiting, trying to fill the roster. Definitely were left out or left a little dry here. But Tennessee picks up a 2021 commit, and that is in God, I'm so worried I'm gonna mess up his first name.
Rowe.
So it is just Rowe. Okay,
Rotirius,
but he goes by Rowe.
He's Rowe.
Okay, Torrence. He's a cornerback. He's a big cornerback. 6'3". I know it's a little unusual, but 6'3" from Hutchinson Community College. So coming from the JUCO ranks. I think Tennessee's just adding some more depth, a little bit of to a secondary that really just kind of needed some bodies at this point. Not obviously they could benefit from some high talent guys, but really just the whole defense, but needed bodies. So you got that.
Yeah, and he's going to have 3 years, I think, to play. So that's another benefit that they want to add guys who can play multiple years. But yeah, just another cornerback adding to that secondary. He will play in the JUCO National Championship against Snow College coming up. When is that exactly?
Oh, Snow College. Who played there? Shoot. Someone played there. Was it
June 5th in Little Rock?
Who played at Snow College? It wasn't. That isn't where Heupel played, is it? Didn't he go to JUCO?
Oh, was it? Did he go to Snow College?
Did he go JUCO, or am I making that up? I'm gonna look it up real quick.
I know he went to Oklahoma. I don't know if he was Snow College.
You don't know if he went? Yeah, he did go to Snow College.
Okay. Nice pull, man. Yeah.
Got that trivia answer right. No big deal.
College. Yeah. So they'll play in the national championship on June 5th, and then he'll enroll after that at Tennessee. Tennessee's got some really good players out of Hutchinson. Cordero Patterson, Alvin Kamara, Tyon Evans, that, they were teammates. So I'm sure that was a pretty easy pull once Tennessee was interested in a row, that, he had that connection with Tyon Evans. And Tennessee's got some big cornerbacks lately. I think Kamal Haddon was 6'1", 6'2", and then this guy's 6'3", 6'4". I mean, that's some tall, lengthy corners on the outside. I don't know what their technique or anything really looks like, but guys that have played, past the high school level, and you like to see size. I mean, bigger, stronger, faster, and so these guys definitely have the big category down. I don't know exactly what their speed looks like, but super interested to see kind of how they look like during fall camp, and maybe they see the field some this upcoming year. If not, maybe they're kind of a project. I don't know really what they're going to look like, but hey, you added some more depth. That's what you needed.
No, you definitely needed that
on defense.
So that's big. Yes, on defense specifically. So that's definitely big time. I think you added a pretty physical guy overall, and I think that's good. Obviously, just watching highlights, so it's hard to tell. But I think it definitely. I think with today's style of defense, I think getting really, really physical corners is big, because protecting the edge is almost impossible. But if you've got physical guys that can give you opportunities to do that, I think that just helps your defense, especially your interior defense, a ton.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, if they don't work out at corner, you can put them back at safety.
Oh, I thought you were going to go linebacker with this team.
Oh, yeah. Put some weight on them and put them at linebacker too. Yeah, you got some options when you have that kind of, height.
Yeah, we just need bodies. We just need bodies at linebacker. Yeah. Doesn't matter their height, their size, their weight, for that matter.
What position do you want to play? I don't know. Okay, you're playing defense.
We're just going to put you on defense, see what works out here.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Okay, well, anything else about Tennessee football other than Snow College? Anything?
Quarterback?
Also, what a weird name. Snow College.
Snow.
And they're the Badgers. I thought it'd be something like, with Stanford, like the trees. What's Stanford's math? The Cardinals.
Cardinal,
sorry. You're right,
man. It's singular.
It is
stupid.
That's like the maple? How do you?
That's like the Syracuse orange. Like, what does that mean? It's a color.
It used to be the Menin orange. Menin orange? Is that right?
Well, now they're just the orange.
Now they're just the orange. Yeah, that is a.
Why can't they be the Syracuse oranges? That would make more sense.
Like an actual
Well, isn't their mascot like an actual orange?
I think so. I think you're right.
That would make sense. I don't know. I'm just making too much sense for the NCAA.
I'll be honest though. I think orange is a kind of cool nickname. You're right. The mascot's a little lame.
Well, because we're the big orange. That's why you think that.
That's not our nickname. Our nickname's Volunteers.
But
I just mean
big orange.
That's not our. I'm talking about nicknames. First off, Volunteers has got to be the. Give me another unique, cool nickname. Drop in the chat. Tell us who the unique ones are. I'm not gonna just outright say the Volunteers are the best, but it's one of the best. There's no doubt about it, because there's probably some really good ones out there that off the top of my head I'm forgetting. But it's not as cool it's not as lame as the Wildcats. Oh wow, that was awesome, Kentucky. Did you guys come up with that by yourself?
The Bulldogs, the Tigers.
Those geniuses in Lexington figure that one out. Yeah. What mathematical problem did that come up with? But yeah, it's just even the Mountaineers, which aren't as it's not super unique. But that's
Minutemen.
Who are the Minutemen? That is UMass.
Yeah,
that is a cool one. I don't know if there's another Minutemen out there.
What about the Aztecs? Is that a cool one?
Little cultural appropriation, but I like it. Cool college nicknames. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think some off the top of my head.
What's Hawaii again? Are they the Warriors?
They used to be the Rainbow Warriors. Are they still the Rainbow Warriors or just the Warriors?
It's probably just the Warriors now.
Just the Warriors.
It's probably sensitive. I don't know.
This is one that like is not used. I don't think it's used a ton. The Huskies, is that used a lot?
UConn.
Oh, okay. UConn, Washington, I think Northern Illinois. 3 is too many. Never mind. Huskies aren't cool. If I can name 3 off the top of my head, you're out. I'm trying. I like Golden Bears. That one's a little unique, somewhat, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess Bears. Yeah, take Bears out. Never mind. Nope. If you're a Bear, you're not unique.
What about a Bearcat?
There you go, Cincinnati.
Just
are they the only? There can't be another Bearcat out there.
Yeah, I mean not like Power 5. There probably are like.
You think there's Bearcat like more?
Yeah, probably like
Bearcats?
D2 or something like you. They're probably find some.
Okay. There's nothing less unique than someone like named the Devils, but they put their school's name in front of the devil. Like the Hall's Red Devils. Okay. Like that.
The White Sox, the Red Sox.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, what color socks y'all wearing today? Red. That's what we're going to call you. That had to be how they got their name, right? I don't know the word.
Well, now they wear like black socks.
Yeah, see, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Come on, guys.
Doesn't make sense. I'm trying to think of other Devils that do it. Harriman, I think, is the Blue Devils.
What about
the Blue Devils?
Sun Devils.
Sun Devils is a dope ass name in my opinion. That's not a color, so it's fine. It's out of my category. What is Wildcats? I was like, what is Arizona?
What about the 49ers?
Okay, cool name. Well, not really, because didn't the Gold Rush happen in 48?
Yeah, so what are we going to say about Charlotte? That was in North Carolina.
I was going to say cool for San Francisco, stupid for Charlotte. But my favorite part about, because didn't we play Charlotte this past year? Or we were supposed to play Charlotte this past year. And we were looking up the history of their nickname. I don't know if you remember this. And it turns out like the exit that the school's on is exit 49. But the school's like specifically said that's not why we're not named the 49ers. And I'm like, why didn't you just make it up and say that is? Because that's kind of cool.
Yeah, the rest of it's dumb. Like whatever excuse you have, whatever reason you have now is just idiotic.
Exactly. What about the Western Carolina Catamounts? That's a pretty unique one.
Yeah, that is unique. Man. Yeah, Eagles aren't that cool. So I mean, like, I guess as a like actual animal, they're pretty cool, but like as a mascot,
bald eagle specifically only.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing, none of that other crap. No golden eagles. That's stupid.
What about the Hawkeyes?
The Hawkeyes
or the Buckeyes?
Buckeyes. The Buckeyes are named after like the actual like tree nut, right? Like that's what they're named after.
Probably.
Dude, okay. The thing that like really pisses me off. Someone mentioned Brutus in the background in the chat. Thank you, by the way. Shout out. He loves it. It pisses me off that the Buckeyes name is Brutus. Like that. Like 7 years into it, I almost changed my dog's name because that's how much I hate it. Like I find Ohio State that annoying. It pisses me off.
Ooh, I forgot Wolverines. That's a cool one.
Wolverines. Wolverines are cool. I don't think they're used often, right? Like that's fairly unique. I mean, you see Red Dawn. That's exactly what I was thinking. All I thought when you said that was Wolverines. Not the new one though. The new one sucked.
What's North Dakota State? Are they the Buffaloes?
I don't think so. Wyoming. I know they're just the Cowboys. I think they're the Cowboys, but I feel like they've got cool stuff going on.
Oklahoma State.
But you were close to North Dakota State. They're the Bison.
Bison. That's cool. Different than Buffalo.
I don't know the difference, but yes, I think scientifically different.
I don't know the difference either. There are some Buffaloes.
Do what? Yeah, that's pretty uncommon. That's pretty unique, though. I think, right?
So are they the Buffalo Buffaloes?
They're the Buffalo Bills. I don't know what Bills means.
No, the college.
I don't think they're Buffaloes. Their mascot. They're the Buffalo Bulls.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Bulls aren't cool.
Unless you're the Chicago Bulls, then they're pretty good. They're pretty cool.
What about the Scarlet Knights?
I like that a lot. Who's that? Who are you thinking of? Rutgers, yeah. I do like the Scarlet Knights. Oh, so buffalo are just native to Africa and Asia, and bison are native to North America and Europe.
So there's basically the same thing.
Basically the same thing. Maybe? I don't know.
What about the Longhorns? Also, what's an Aggie? There's a lot of Aggies out there. What is an Aggie?
I don't know. The thing is I think Aggies are like pretty specific, like South, like but Southern Southwest teams.
So Utah? Did Utah State the Aggies?
Southwest. I think they are. An Aggie is not a pig or a hog.
Thanks for telling me what it's not.
Right. An Aggie is not a horse. That's all. It just tells us what an Aggie is not. An Aggie is not a pony. We are certain. Oh, I think this is like about a school. Okay. What is an Aggie's mascot?
What are those pigs, like wild pigs called in like Arizona?
I don't know.
Like I want to say chapulines, but that's not right. I don't think that's right. But it's something like that.
I don't know. That's the first time I've ever heard of anything like this. Are there wild pigs? I mean, I guess there's wild pigs everywhere. I didn't know they were in Arizona.
Yeah, apparently they're like worse than snakes.
Okay, so A&M is called the Aggies because of their agriculture school. Like the students are called Aggies there. I guess that's how they got their nickname.
That's lame.
I think that's kind of cool. Like I think it's cool when people get their name in unique ways, rather than like you mentioned, like Georgia being like, "Oh, we're the Bulldogs." Like that's stupid.
Yeah, so it's like everybody else in the country.
Like UTC. Do you know how UTC got their nickname?
Does that have to do with Terrell Owens?
It doesn't, but that'd be a cool story too. So oh my gosh, you don't know this history. I get to tell you this for the first time. So for a while, like maybe early 2000s, UTC were known as the Mocs, like they are now, but not like a mockingbird, which is Tennessee State's bird. They were known as Mocs, as in moccasin, the shoe, because of Moccasin Bend down in Chattanooga on the river.
So not the snake.
I think they were a moccasin snake for a while, but their actual mascot was a moccasin shoe. It got voted like the world's worst mascot of all time, like 3 years in a row.
Nice.
I was like, I would have just kept it. Like you just own it at that point, right?
Yeah, you got
to. This is it. We are the moccasin shoes. That's just who we're going to be. I love that. I think they should have kept it. So yes, they were the water moccasins in the 1920s. I don't know when they're. I don't know the whole history.
I think you should just be the state or city that you're in.
What do you mean?
So like the Washington football team. I think we should just go to that.
Yeah, I agree.
We're the Tennessee football team of Knoxville.
That brings up a great point. Have you seen the team names for the Knoxville soccer team? Like, have you seen the?
Yeah, just go Knoxville Soccer Club.
Yeah, as much as I hate it, just do it. That's the only thing that makes sense.
What were the other two?
Like, there's three, I think, three others. The Rovers, which is a English club. I mean, they had like reasons for why these would fit Knoxville, but I don't think either of them fit the Knoxville like soccer team, and that's important. So Rovers, the Ascent, Knoxville Soccer Club, and then One Knoxville, which I think sounds very weird. So I'm not.
One Knoxville. That sounds like a club. Like
it does kind of sound like a club. Yeah,
like a fitness gym or something.
That does sound like that. I didn't even think about that. That's exactly what that sounds like. I'm not a fan though of all four of them. But I think if I have to choose between the four, I'm with you. Knoxville Soccer Club. Let the fans kind of pick out the name, like naturally as it happens.
We couldn't get another option. I mean, really.
Well, yeah, but I just like soccer teams in Europe, which I mean, pretty much all like the Rovers comes from Europe, SC comes from Europe. I mean, you're going to be named after like more traditional soccer names anyways. Most teams don't have like official mascots. Like they're not the Tennessee Volunteers or the UTC Mocs or the, Alabama Crimson Tide. They're like Arsenal is Arsenal FC and then they're known as the Gunners because of like history within the club, and like eventually got to that point that they had a nickname called the Gunners. I think just let it happen naturally. I think just that kind of stuff, let it happen naturally. Call them Knoxville Soccer Club. We'll find a nickname along the way. Just be patient.
I like the Musketeers or something. It'd be cool.
Oh, God. I'm not a Musketeer guy.
You know?
I don't like that name.
I just feel like it fits like the volunteer.
No, I'm against it. Veto. Veto. I don't. I'm a fan of. Saw Scruffy City. Obviously, Scruffy City FC. I like that. Someone else mentioned Marble City FC. I like that one. Yeah.
Where are they playing at?
They are going to be playing at the new Smoky Stadium.
So what? Old City FC.
Old City FC. I like that one too.
There you go.
It's a lot of. Yeah, I like Old City.
All right, let's get into football talk.
Just call them the Randy
Boys.
That
we've wasted quite a bit of time talking.
I really do want to know like the worst or best mascots from some people. So please tell me. But yeah, let's talk quarterbacks real quick.
Dude, so the closer and closer we get to the season, I'm thinking it's more and more Harrison Bailey's job. Now, I haven't seen Joe Milton.
And can I ask how you do this? Because I don't. Like, none of my opinions have changed. Maybe I just haven't been thinking about it a lot. I don't know.
Well, like, I just see him, like, on Twitter, and I see him working with, a lot of, the quarterback country. He talked at the MVP camp at Rivals. I just think that's really – like, it just seems like he was kind of – when Heupel took the job, he was like, oh, Harrison Bailey's probably going to get the boot because he doesn't move that well. He just doesn't fit that offense. And I just think the closer and closer we get, it feels like it's going to be Harrison Bailey. I don't know why. I just have that feeling. He's the one that showed out at the spring game, and not saying it means a whole lot, but like him, being at these places, working out with, he was working out with Bo Nix, he was at that quarterback camp. It just seems like he's, and not that the other quarterbacks aren't, I just don't know. I don't see it. Maybe they are, but it just seems like he's devoted and motivated to be the quarterback at Tennessee, and I think he has the tools to do so. I think it's just been the factor that he's not as athletic as some of those guys now. And like I said, I haven't seen really Joe Milton and what he looks like, other than what he looked like at Michigan. But it didn't have a very great career there. So
right, yeah, I'm definitely not leaning personally, at least for this year. I'm coming late. I'm not leaning the Joe Milton route. If we're gonna pick a golly, I'm kind of with you in the sense of if we're just looking at like the spring game. I mean, I gotta think it's here now, but I mean, other than that, I just don't have a ton of information that like to go off of, other than just. I mean, I don't think it's Brian Maurer. The only thing I think maybe going for him is that he was recruited by Heupel at UCF, but he was recruited to a completely different situation. So I just don't know how much that really helps him. I mean, definitely Hendon Hooker probably has a good chance, being that he definitely has the most experience. He did get the entire spring with Heupel. Caden Salter, I think, is probably behind Brian Maurer right now. So yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Everything we know right now, it's got to be Harrison Bailey, right?
Yeah, I mean, he just seems more and more like a kind of a leader on this football team, and that just might be just like, well, that's me on the outside looking in. That's me kind of looking at social media and stuff like that. But it just seems like he's in tune with what's going on, and he's continuing to work on his craft. And like I said, I don't know what the other quarterbacks are doing, but he just seems like he is going to get better and better the more he plays football.
Yeah, no, I think too, probably so. I mean, he's one of the older guys on this team, right?
As far as like played at Tennessee?
Yeah, like one of the older guys that have been at the University of Tennessee the longest. Like he's on that list.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think he's just going to naturally kind of be thrusted in that leadership position. I think kind of similar to like Velus in that sense. Velus does have the, he's just older, physically, but he's also now been at Tennessee. This will be his second year. So I think he's kind of bought into that leadership role. I think the same is going to be said for Harrison Bailey. This is his second year. I think for everyone, you get that, whether you love Jeremy Pruitt, didn't like him, whatever, your case may be for you, you feel like with this coaching staff, maybe you get a fresh start and you get to kind of redefine who you were if you weren't happy with it last year. So I think Harrison Bailey's definitely going to try to adapt. Maybe, he came into a situation where whether you thought he was more talented, whether he thought he was more talented than JG was a fifth-year guy. Like, of course he's going to be that guy that everybody looks at as a leader. So you didn't get a chance. Well, now you're the most experienced Tennessee quarterback on the roster. Besides
Brian Maurer.
As
far as playing, but yeah, Brian Mauer's been here longer. Yeah,
right. You're right. Playing time is what I was talking about specifically. I'd say playing time, they're probably neck and neck.
Yeah, probably about
as far as snaps go. But yeah, so I was, I'm sure he's gonna look. You're the quarterback. You're naturally going to be the leader. Like, that's part of your role. So yeah, I got to think he's going to try and step into that if he wants to be the starter.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like he's kind of impressed me since he's been here, and like he's kind of been looked over since he's been here, and even like in the recruiting process. I mean, we tried to go after Haynes King and land him, ended up going to Texas A&M and staying at home, but like we were gonna kind of recruit over Harrison Bailey.
Right.
Yeah, but he kind of changed his body, and the dude just won football games. Like it's hard to really go away from somebody, like, even if it's not pretty or anything like that. If he wins football games, he wins freaking football games.
Yeah, it's that simple. Just go win, baby, win.
Yep,
that's all that matters in the end. I'm sorry. I wish I could argue and debate with you, and maybe we need to watch highlight tapes.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe
really dig into high school highlights or something.
When baseball's over here in the next month, and we got a month left probably till the end of the College World Series. But after that, yeah, we might have to fill some content, and I got some interviews in the works too. I'll have to tell you after the show. But yeah, I got some guys that want to come on the show and talk a little bit about some Tennessee sports, or even maybe not Tennessee sports.
I don't know what that means, but I'm into it. I do have one more football question. So today, Cole Kubulek, I'm never going to say his name right. It doesn't matter. Sorry, Cole. He tweeted that Bet Online, the SEC win totals for this year, what the line was at. So we'll run through them all, but I do want to get your take. Oh, let's maybe just run through them all over under real quick, since it's our show. We got time. Alabama 11.5 over under.
Is this regular season?
I think it's total. I think total.
Oh, total.
Total wins.
Oh, over.
I'm with you. Taking the over. Arkansas 5.5.
Ooh. I don't know what the schedule looks like.
Yeah, I don't know their schedule. Without looking at the schedule, though, I'm going to say with bowl game, 6 wins. So I'm over. Or, sorry, 6. Yeah, I think they get to a bowl. Over.
You're going over?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Yeah,
they've got to have at least 3 winnable, outside SEC winnable games, right?
I'll go under.
Under? Okay. It is 5.5, so you hit it if it wins 5. That makes me think under, but I'll stick with arguing with you and go over. Auburn 7.
Under.
Under, same. Florida 9.
9 total?
9. I'm pushing. Staying away from that. I think it pushes.
Yeah, it probably pushes.
Georgia 10.5.
Under.
I think 10 wins maybe. I think that could go 11. That might be another one I stay away from. I think I'll take the under, though. I think 10. Kentucky 6.5. I don't know their schedule. That really throws me off.
I mean, they usually kind of have an easy schedule, so I'll probably go.
I don't think they get to 7, though. I think I'm still taking under.
I'll take over.
Okay. Over for Kentucky. LSU 8.5. I think it matters who those out of conference are, and I don't know. I think I'm going under, though. I think I'm going 8 wins.
Yeah, probably 8. Yeah.
Mississippi State 5.5.
Oh,
I think under. I'm taking under.
Yeah, probably 5.
Missouri 7. That is shocking. I'm taking under.
I'm gonna go push at 7.
Yeah, that's fair. I think pushes it right. I'll say under though. Ole Miss 7.5.
Under.
I think under too. Maybe with a bowl game. Maybe they get to 8.
A lot of unders.
Yeah. South Carolina 4.
I don't know what that out of conference looks like though.
Yeah, do they play Clemson this year? Because that really hurts them if they do. I don't know. I gotta say, you got 4 though. Give me the over in that, right?
Yeah, I mean, at least slip up and win when you should.
Well, and 4, if you win 4, you push. So
yeah,
give me the over. 10 or Texas A&M 9.5. I got to go under. Winning 10 games in the West.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under.
Vanderbilt 3.
Over, but I think it pushes.
I like that. Then last and certainly not least, Tennessee at 6.
I'm going to go over, but I think it pushes too.
So I feel comfortable going over, though, because I'm with you. I think with this schedule, Tennessee really could get to a bowl game. And then you're talking maybe get that 7th win. But like you said, worst case scenario pushes. Hopefully, that's the worst case scenario.
Yeah.
Hopefully. There you go. I just want to add to your football there. So anything else? Football? Or anything?
That's all I got. Let's get into – got to kind of press for time. But let's get into what's trending real quick.
What's trending? I got a coffee stain up for my carpet that had been there for like a week. That was cool.
There you go. Nice.
Yeah. I was like, this is not coming out. You can just go ahead and keep my deposit. But your boy did it. What's trending? So I got a question for you. So trending, Tim Tebow, trending all over the place. What's your take? Like, what are your thoughts?
I mean, he's not going to be good.
Does he make the roster? Did we talk about this? Does he make the roster? I don't think he makes 53 man.
I think he'll be the 53rd guy, yeah.
You think he'll be 53?
Yeah, because of Urban Meyer. If it was just like a random team, yeah, he's going to make the roster. 100%.
Can a 40-year-old play special teams, though? Because if you're the 53rd man, you're playing special teams.
Is he 40 years old?
No, he's not 40, but he's old. He's
man.
I mean, he's got to be what, like 30? I mean, he's got to be like 34, 35.
Okay.
No? You don't think so?
I don't know. Like what does their tight end situation look like?
I also think this is important. I think one thing I'm not saying Tim Tebow is going to be great. I'm not. But I think one thing to remember about Tim Tebow is he did play in the NFL. I know not as a tight end, but he's studied offenses. And this isn't a guy that hasn't played football since high school that's trying to he's not doing what he did with baseball.
Right.
This is a little bit different. He's 33, by the way. 33. So, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be – I think a lot of people that have said that the locker room is going to hate him, I don't think that's the case. They don't have a reason to hate him.
Yeah, they're probably not going to hate him.
Well, and a lot of people, they said the same thing with baseball. They're going to be like, why is this guy here? He doesn't deserve it. I mean, that could be said for a lot of people in the NFL and MLB locker rooms. You're here because of who your dad is or your uncle or because your dad's best friends with the GM or something. There's guys that, whether they deserve it or not, other people in the locker room don't think they deserve it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I mean, I think he'll be fine in the locker room. I think when people actually get to know the guy, they're probably going to like him.
Oh, yeah. Probably.
Because, as much as I want to hate him, it's hard for me to really hate Tim Tebow because he is such a genuine person.
I hate him. Speaking of hate, Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka, the big interview that got leaked from Golf Channel. Did you see it?
Yeah, I like it.
I love it. A lot of people said he was saying something under his breath. I don't. He may have, but I don't know if Brooks would have heard it. I think Brooks was just annoyed with the sound of his cleats, his metal spikes.
Yeah, I just don't I don't really watch golf and I don't really know anything about these guys, but I just don't really like DeChambeau.
Yeah, no, he's a douche.
Okay.
I don't think he's
that's like a lot of people think that, right?
Well, yeah, and a lot of people are like he's ruining golf. I don't think I think he's good for golf. I think he's turning a lot of eyes to it. I think he's like making things interesting. And
I hate his hat.
His hat is like, again, he's a douche. And it's just like, I don't think he's bad for golf. I don't. He's annoying, but I don't think he's bad for golf. And also kind of piggybacking the Bryson and Brooks interview, the match part 3, I think it's the third. Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady. This time going against Bryson DeChambeau and Aaron Rodgers.
Saw that. I also saw where I guess this can go for my what's trending. OTAs are this week for the Green Bay Packers, and Aaron Rodgers is in Hawaii with Shailene. Is that how you say it?
Shailene Woodley.
Yeah.
Is that her name?
And Miles Teller.
And Miles Teller. And Miles Teller's girlfriend, I guess. Whoever that is.
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a weird group.
Hey, he's a vet. He doesn't have to be at OTAs. What do you mean?
So I don't know, like when they became friends. So is like Miles Teller friends with Aaron Rodgers or
I'm gonna guess the girl, Rodgers' girlfriend, because isn't she an actress?
Yeah, they're in what's it called? Divergent together.
Gotcha. Forgot about Divergent. That was a good movie. I liked it at least.
A couple good movies.
Oh, do they have more? Maybe
it's a series. I think there's 3 of them.
I actually might have seen all 3 in theaters, actually, now that I think about it. I don't remember.
I know I saw like the Maze Runner. Like there's like a different storyline to each one.
I know I saw at least one of the Divergents in a theater. Maybe more. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Shoot. I had some more. I'm sorry. Phone went black on me. Guy Fieri. Is that how you say it? Do you roll the R? Fieri. $80 million deal with the Food Network. What do you think about that?
That's a lot of money. That's a lot of food.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, he got that Patrick Mahomes deal.
Right? I mean, I got to think that's above market price.
Yeah. Like, how much is he actually worth?
Like, how much is he worth in terms of, like, his actual net worth? I would say, a lot based on, like, restaurants he owns and whatnot. But, like, right? Like, how can he be worth $80 million to the Food Network?
But, like, when you actually think about it, like, who the hell watches the Food Network? Probably not a lot of people, but a lot of people know who Guy Fieri is.
I bet a lot of people watch the Food Network. I bet you'd be shocked to find out how many people watch the Food Network.
Really?
I bet more people watch. Hot take. I bet more people watch the Food Network than watch SportsCenter. Now I am limiting it to just SportsCenter. I'm not saying ESPN, just SportsCenter. And then I am giving it all of Food Network. But I mean, think about how many people used to watch SportsCenter.
Yeah, I mean, it's died down a lot.
Yeah, I bet more people are on Food Network now. There's a lot on the Food Network.
I'm just not into, like, reality, like that kind of reality television. I'm into reality. Like, I
watch The Bachelor.
Yeah. I like that's cool. Like, that stuff's funny to me.
Get out of here.
But, like, somebody yelling, like, is it Hell's Kitchen when
is Hell's Kitchen Food Network?
I don't know, but that guy's just yelling at people for the food. I'm like, I don't care.
Well, Guy Fieri does diners, drive-ins, and dives. That show's great.
Is the Bar Rescue, is that on the Food Network?
No, that's Paramount. I'm a big John Taffer guy myself. Love John Taffer. He's extremely annoying. He yells a lot. He yells a lot.
He'll just fire somebody for
and I'm like, you don't run the bar, bro. Like,
it's not your bar.
Yeah. And then I've got a jersey swap. Did you see this? Somebody tweeted at, I guess, Barstool, and they do a jersey swap. I guess it's just a party where everyone brings jerseys they bought and they swap them. I don't know. But someone bought Coach Doug's Tennessee jersey.
Nice.
Yeah, number 50 for a 50 burger.
Hey.
Yeah.
Like some Doug's. RIP. I mean,
right.
He's still there, but like he doesn't do that anymore. He's not Coach Doug's anymore.
Right. Not a Coach
Doug's. He just Doug's.
You'll always be Coach to me, Doug's. Don't listen. My last one. This is my last one. Julio Jones and Shannon Sharp. Okay. Do you think that was planned? Or do you think that actually like happened the way it was meant to look like it happened?
I think there was some money involved to get some ratings up.
And do you think Julio Jones used it as like, hey, I'm not playing in Atlanta? Because they're like, are you staying in Atlanta? And I get, he's already said he isn't. But I guess maybe, I don't know. I mean, does Shannon Sharp still ask him? So I guess.
Yeah, but they wanted it. Like it was said that he wasn't going to come back, but like he put a quote with it. And the quote is what's making Atlanta fans upset. So he's like, oh, no, I want to win. I'm out of there.
Right. I'm saying he hadn't like officially said he wasn't coming back to Atlanta until on First Take. Is that what it's called?
No, it's
that's ESPN. Undisputed. So for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, because you may not, Shannon Sharp called what looked like just off the cuff, called Julio Jones and asked him if he was going to be playing in Atlanta. He said, hell no, I want to win. And he said, all right, where are you going? He said, Dallas. Or Shannon Sharp asked Dallas. He said, no, I want to win. And they both joked and laughed and said, well, you won't win in Dallas. But like, I got to think it's planned because it sounded like Shannon Sharp's phone was like hooked up to the sound system, like running through the.
Yeah, and I'll say this: like, if you're up 28-3 and don't win a Super Bowl, I mean, chances are you're probably not going to win a Super Bowl.
No, you're not. You're not going to win a Super Bowl. Let's be honest. At least until Tom Brady's dead and gone.
Yeah, unless you go to the Bucs, which I mean, maybe that's a possibility.
That would piss me off just because it's like how do the rich get richer in that situation? That's insane.
Right. How do you have the money to pay him and everybody else on the team?
Also, yeah, okay. This pisses me off. Stupidity. I'll jump into that real quick just because this didn't happen this week. Well, people that were like, the GM for Tampa just effed them over by loading this roster for 1 year. It's a Super Bowl. He didn't load it and not make the championship. He loaded it and they won a Super Bowl. I don't care if they're bad for the next 10 years. They won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's not like the Browns where you loaded it up and didn't win anything.
Exactly. That's a great point, Landon.
Yeah, so if you do load it up, you got to go win.
Yeah, well, like if you like set up the franchise where they're not going to be able to pay half their roster in the next 3 years and you don't win, then you look like an idiot. But if you set it up like that and you go win a Super Bowl, nobody should care, in my opinion. Right. Nobody should care. You won a Super
Bowl. More stupidity. Broadway Joe Milton. Dude, like that is the worst graphic I've ever seen in my entire life.
I love that you said. What did you text me? What was it?
I said, yeah, no one wants the nickname Broadway
in Knoxville. This is in New York, dog. Get out of here.
Or even Nashville. Like Nashville has a cool Broadway.
Nashville would be a good one now. That's a good point.
But like in Knoxville, no, hell no.
There's like a sliver of Broadway that I would want to be on in Knoxville, and it's a sliver.
But that's the graphic was terrible. That was hilarious.
Well,
but also the quote with it is hilarious.
It
says Surrey, S-U-R-I. I don't know. Hey Surrey. My phone didn't pick it up, so that's hilarious. It says play Amazon by Kanye and
Great.
Geezy?
I read Greasy.
Geezy. So a couple things wrong with that. Surrey, it should be Siri. And it says play Amazon. It's Amazing by Kanye and Young Jeezy. It's with a J, not a G. And there's a Z in there, not an S. I mean, like, it's just I'm like, you tweeted that makes us look terrible.
I wouldn't worry about it.
And then you call him Broadway Joe. Who wants to be Broadway in Knoxville? It's just, oh my gosh. I love it. Like, it's hilarious, and I hope it's for fun. I hope. No. No way.
Don't. Yeah, you can't mention. I mean, I'll talk about it. You can't say anything about it right now. I'm just scrolling through right now.
My god!
I'm gonna send you I'm gonna send you just a shitload of screenshots. So get ready. Do you have any more stupidities?
Yeah, I do actually.
Okay, this is not stupid. I'm just going through my phone. Did you see Pearl Cone's like celebration, their graduation celebration? Ron Slay retweeted it.
No,
dude, it looks freaking electric. I want to go to a Pearl Cone graduation.
Let's go.
I'll send a video.
Elijah Simmons can probably get us in.
Yeah, it was just an electric factory. They were like playing their spirit song, and I guess like their fight song, and the place
that's another good one. Firebirds.
That's a great nickname.
It's a great one.
And their spirit song is electric. Well, I don't even know what it is. I can barely hear it, but it's awesome.
Freebird? Because that'd be cool.
I doubt it, but that would be
cool. So yeah, I do have one thing.
I do have one more stupidity after you.
So our buddy, I'm just not gonna like tell you who it is. I'm gonna let you guess.
But it says guess right here.
No, you could just like laugh about it because I know you know who it is. It says absolutely nothing about Jake Rucker grabs your attention until you watch him play baseball. In that sense, the unassuming, unimposing star third baseman is perhaps the most fitting symbol for the rebirth of the number 4 Vols. Absolutely nothing about Jake Rucker grabs your attention.
But what does he mean by that? Like, is he saying he doesn't look like it?
How often do you like? What else are you looking for at this kid other than him playing baseball?
Also, I feel like that could be said for almost any baseball player. Like nothing grabs your attention.
I mean, he's not Mike Trout. I mean,
I could not pick Mike Trout out of a lineup. Could not. I mean, if you put him next,
he looks like freaking Cock Diesel. So,
well, I was about to say, if you put him next to a bunch of like average guys and you were like, pick Mike Trout out, yeah, sure. But if you like put him next to a bunch of guys that like work out and exercise, I doubt I could pick him out.
Okay, Aaron Judge.
He's 6'9".
Oh, exactly. Like what are you wanting him to look like?
Yeah, exactly.
What do you want Jake Rucker to look like?
We just named like 2 of the most like physically gifted players. And that's about the only ones that you could pick out of a lineup. Like, yeah, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That's the dumbest thing.
A college kid. Absolutely nothing about Jake Rucker grabs your attention. How about like, maybe he has a nice smile. I don't know. Like you can't think of anything good about Jake Rucker other than he's
did Kiv say baseball? That? Is Kiv the one who tweeted that?
No.
I'm gonna have to get on to him for that. That was mean to say about Rucker.
I have one more. And Kendall Rogers tweeted that the NCAA was expected to announce the full capacity for the championships. Kyle Britt, I don't know who this guy is, but I thought this comment was hilarious. He says, has the sex tourney in Hoover committed to full capacity yet?
The what?
The sex.
What is? I just like what? What is he trying? Was he trying to say something else, or was he trying to say that?
He was trying to say the SEC tournament, but he said sex.
The sex tourney?
The sex tourney, yeah.
But did he spell it like tournament? Okay, that makes more sense. I was okay. Woo! I was like,
dude, I was just like, but what makes it so great is like he tried to capitalize every letter in SEC and he spelled sex. So he just emphasized the sex.
That's pretty hot. Yeah. I got one more, and I'm not gonna say any names. I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus, but I gotta say it. I gotta say it. If you went 10-1, you better not write 10-0 on anything. Anything. Hey, how many teams get to end their season in a win?
It's true.
You didn't go 10-0.
But
if you didn't go 0-10, if you didn't go 15-0, then you went 10-1. Unless you're Grace Christian and you were cheating the year before and you went 10-0 and tore down the field goal post and all that jazz. That's cool. But you went 10-0. Or 10-1, sorry. You went 10-1. I just don't like those are the same kind of programs that brag about making it to the semifinals. But you're not willing to say when you got beat in the first round? No.
Oh, yeah, let's hang a banner because Virginia was the #1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament a few years ago and lost to the number 16 seed.
Yeah, there you go.
Hang that banner.
It's a great point. Well, I wonder what – oh, I bet Kentucky went 39-0 that year.
Oh, you know who they lost to? The Golden Retrievers. That's a good one.
That is – it's kind of a sucky one, but it is unique. Yeah. It legitimately, I'm assuming, is where they taped Air Bud and they're like, we have to name them this now.
Is it the Golden Retriever or is it just the Retrievers?
I'm pretty sure it's the Retrievers.
There are the Terriers. Wofford is the Terriers.
Yeah, I don't like that. That's like the weakest dog. It's like the weakest dog name on the planet. Like, yeah, let's name them the Shih Tzus.
The Rottweilers. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
The Rotties.
Yeah, but it's so stupid. 10-0. Get the fuck out of here.
Somebody commented on my tweet about if that call was made. If that call would not have been made if we were playing the SEC tournament in Nashville. And it said, clearly a flagrant 3. This is Tum. Clearly a flagrant 3. Furry should be suspended and banned from all baseball activities for life, including all derivatives such as, but not limited to, softball, cricket, kickball, also sliding activities, including slipping electric into DMs. Game needs integrity.
I agree.
A flagrant 3. I love that. That's a great comment. I didn't know. I only read that at first, so the other part wasn't as great as I thought it was going to be. But flagrant 3, that's funny. I like it.
I don't know what this is about to say. It's Tony Vitello from No Context College Baseball, so let's find out.
He said he hit him in the nuts. So, yeah, I mean, he asked me, he said he hit him in the nuts. So,
he hit him in the nuts. I mean, I don't know what else you want.
I'm going to kill myself. You know what? Hey, just don't lie on my obituary and say I went 10-0. 10-1. All right.
I'll put it on there for you.
God bless. Guys, it's been fun. We appreciate you all tuning in always. We'll be back Sunday. Hopefully in better spirits, not as angry. I know this is an anger-filled episode, at least from the beginning. Sorry about that. Especially if you're listening in the morning. Nobody wants to drink their coffee and listen to me yell. So
it's all right.
I am sorry. But
you don't want to miss it either.
Yeah. You don't want to miss it either. But we'll be back, like I said, Sunday night. We look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, thanks again, guys. We're bringing the boat in.